All right, so we've offset that by 1. We've offset this by 2. Now we're going to offset the last one, 2, 3, by 3. So you see it's going to create that kind of drag. We'll do the same with this top one here. So we're going to move that by 1. Move the second one by 2. 1, 2. I'm pressing shift and middle button. So I'm selecting everything, then shift and then middle mouse button, and then moving it across. 1, 2, 3 is the last one. So it's going to create this kind of wave. See that? So you're getting that kind of drag. And then what we'll do, that middle one, the one at the back. Hold on, someone's it. Okay, doorbell went there. Anyway, so that last one we select. If we move it here, we'll do the same thing. We'll just rotate it back like that. And then at the front, we rotate it forward. And then middle click, save it to the end. So all you do, and then now what you're doing, same thing, you're coming in, same thing. Leave the last one how it is. Again here, flatten everything. I'll flatten it here and cycle. And then move this by 1. Flatten everything and cycle. And then you can select all of it, move it by 2. And then that one, that one here. 1, 2, 3, flatten, cycle, and then that will create that drag. And if you really want to make it, because they're all moving at the same time, right? And if you really want to offset it a bit more, all you do, so all the fingers move at different times, is select one of these controls, so this middle finger here. So you've got all of those controls. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You know you've got all 4 selected because here it's got the names. Literally all you're doing is selecting everything and moving that maybe 1, 2 frames. And then get the other control here and move that 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. So now they're all kind of, if you move it back 1, they're all kind of, you can play around, move it forward or back 1, but you can see there's a bit of a drag happening there. Yeah? So there's a bit of drag. Now would you want that on a robot? Probably not, but you know what, it's just that last minute drag, right? And then if you want to really, when we polish, we can translate them so it's a little stretch, but we can do that when we get there. But maybe these parts are a bit floppy, you know, we could have a floppy robot. And then basically that's the same you want to do on the other side. So I'll just quickly do it here. So you've seen the process, and I'll just quickly select all of these. So I've selected all of these, deleted the inside. Here's cool because we know this is going back, so we know we can just move these back and then basically copy it and then coming forward, copy it like this. So we've just got like a wave, see? Now all you want to do, same thing we did on the other one. In matter of fact, I'll do these both together. We'll get that and we'll get that. Flatten, cycle, move it by 1. Move it by 1 there. Okay, the next one, move it by 2. 1, 2. I'm going to flatten, cycle. The next one, move it by 3. 1, 2, 3. Flatten, cycle. So you've got that happening there, right? And then obviously the other one, which is difficult to find. Let's select these, come back out this way. Same thing, delete everything in the middle. All right, just checking if the mic's on. Be awful shame, huh? Rotate, again, rotate it back, copy it, go into the middle, rotate it forward, come back. Now that I've got them all selected, I might as well cycle them all as well, you know. And then same thing here. All you're doing is selecting the one below there, move it 1, move this one 1, 2, this one 1, 2, 3. Now they're all going to be moving the same, as you can see, and then we'll do the same thing where we'll get all of these controls and move it by 1, and then we'll get these controls, move this by 2, 1, 2, and then at least they're all different now. So if we look now, the timing is slightly different, right? And you've got that happening. So now we've got the arm working how we want it, or floppity flop, which is cool. Now what we can do is start working on the head. So if we get the controls back, you see you have these controls here that move. That basically you can rotate. Can you rotate? Yeah, you can rotate. So we'll select all of these. Delete. Select the head, delete. Matter of fact, we could select all of this area here because we all got keys on it. Remember, we set the keys at the start. And then here, basically what we can do is we can be like, all right, the head is up here. And then when it lands, 2 frames after it lands, it comes down. And then it goes up. And then lands. So we can do a little something like this. Where you're creating, you could play around, right? You could play around. Or you could have we could also try one where maybe it might be better if there's in the middle there, right? Like this. That'll work actually. Let's do it like that. Let's move this here. Sorry. Let's keep it like it was originally. So we've got that kind of up and down going on, right? And then we could do the same thing like we did with the hands. So let's have a little experiment. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is how it looks. Let's bring it down a bit. Let's bring this up a bit. Let's keep it a bit subtle. So it's slightly moving. Now what you can do here, what we can do is we can select all of these keys. Make sure your marker's on 0. Select all the keys, copy, then go and select the next 3. Delete the end frame, come back here, select all the X rotations, and you can go to edit, paste, and then just cycle that. See, now you've got happening on all. But what you want to do is, I think each one you do, you just want to reduce a little bit. Next one, you might want to reduce that a bit more. And then the last one, you might want to reduce it all the way. Yeah, so each one is kind of less and less. See, you can see like a little chain effect. And the other thing you want to do is, if we go back here, you might want to just offset that by 1. Then offset this by 2. 1, 2. Make sure it's cycling. And then the last one, 1, 2, 3. So you'll get that looseness, yeah? So there's a little bit of a looseness there. You know? And then if it's too much, doing, doing, doing. So it's a bit of a doing, doing, doing. It's going, what's up, man? What's happening? So whatever it is, you know, just have fun doing it. And you might just want to take them all. So the other thing you can do is just select them all and then come back here and then just go like halfway and just scale scale it halfway. Just scale it down. Just to make it a bit more subtle. And then if you're not happy with that, always try and scale it back up. Scale it a little bit more down. That's all right. Yeah, you could play around with that. And then we might be like, all right, you know what? Let's play around with, let's also get this bit going as well. We could do that in the polishing. Okay, that's fine. So you've got a nice, so if you look here now, you've kind of got a nice bobble going on. And you know what? We'll also need to, can't forget about the head, man. So that's keyed down. So if we go down, this start is up. So let's copy that to the end. Down, up, down, and then up. So that adds a little bit of bounce to him, right? So if we go back to our graph editor, we can just play around with this again, cycle this. So, you know, you can add more or less. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So go back. Actually, let's go. And you could choose, you could leave it how it is, like that. That seems a bit cool. So what we'll do, we can just tone this down. Yes, that feels like a bobblehead, doesn't it? Bobblehead. A little bit of a bobblehead. Okay. Now we can go to the next video, and then we'll do the polishing. We'll polish the antennae, do a bit of the eyes, the jaw, just bring it out a bit, and just bring it up a bit, yeah. And then also work a bit more on the feet, have it stomp down a bit more with the spacing and timing. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.